Alright, last game was exciting. Once again, we've got LPQ stats on stats, quite obviously, and Eos and Mouth Breather Dota are coming to join us. We're just rolling with it. That's your new name. What do you think is gonna happen here, this one?
Team
Mouth breather. What the hell?
Look, I'm trying to just roll with the tech issues we're having, you know? I'm owning it, we're doing it, we're going in. Okay, we'll get, I don't know, I don't think you want to call you Eosin Blowy.
10 seconds remaining.
Really? Really? You prove? Okay,
remaining.
well that's what we're going with, folks. Please, make sure Eosin knows that you all approve of that name.
Reserve
Let's
time.
get into it, though. We actually have a Witch Doctor ban out. Last time it was ROTK's Doxia that was banned out, so
LGD's
LGD can
turn
grab
to
that if they want.
Ten seconds remaining.
Dark Seer.
LGD's turn to pick.
I mean, there was a reason it was first round banned last game by Secret. This is one of ROTK's most comfortable heroes, and having your captain on a super comfortable hero also, not exactly, you can't make that argument in this lineup, but ROTK is a very skilled player. I wouldn't say he's like their shining star hero or anything, but he's excellent. So, yeah. But guess what? Secret has Invoker again. We are... I mean, he got some early kills, which really helped him out, but also he performed excellently last game.
Disruptor!
Team Secret's turn to pick.
Yeah.
Imba Spirit.
And actually, kind of something different from last game, but then very kind of standard for these teams. We've talked about it. LGD love being very team fight oriented. I think a lot of that ROTK's influence, and Envy loves Eternal, Envy loves Ember Spirit. There we go. Words.
Remaining.
So that's what we're going to be seeing come out here. It's interesting to see one side,
remaining.
like, Team Secret has completely showed their cause pretty much here.
Reserve time.
Yeah. And I think even if something like a Bane came out next, you know, LGD can try to pick the next 3 heroes to be all Ember Spirit counters. There will be weaknesses elsewhere. And Team Secret is a lineup that can try to deal with that some. But we will be seeing Night Stalker banned again. I am not surprised by that because we know about some of LGD's drafting habits, but it's a bit interesting here. And for LGD, do you think they want to get rid of some more kind of support heroes? Because last time they did actually ban out, well, I mean, obviously you want to be banning out support heroes because that's, and off lanes because that's what's left, but do you actually target Misery at all? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's really... I don't know whether we'll see a bat band out here that's a hero Misery likes. Yeah, it's going to be the Nature's Prophet from last game. LGD deciding that caused a lot of trouble. And it's a similar idea here, right? If you use your vacuum wall combo and you don't get enough out of it, Nature's Prophet can pick away elsewhere, knowing that you don't have the teamfight potential to take him on.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I am kind
Reserve
of
time.
trying to figure out what Secret could potentially... I mean, they themselves love picking up the Venge, of course, banned out. They didn't want that on LGD, and they don't have the first pick out of the next phase. They're actually also big Dazzle pickers this patch, and they are hugely favoring the Tusk despite some of the nerfs that have come out. So I wouldn't be surprised, but it's something where it's still pretty dang wide open for...
LGD's turn to pick.
Definitely. Do you think...
Morphling.
Team Secret's
LGD
turn to pick.
Yeah, now that the Morphling's here, it makes a lot of sense. And LGD, actually, Syla's one of the few players, I've talked about it, that Morphling doesn't have the greatest of win rates on other teams. Syla does great on the hero. Everybody else, he actually seems to go the shotgun build very frequently. I think it's generally Lincoln's shotgun, Earthblade, Butterfly,
LGD's turn
maybe
to pick.
something else, sometimes a Manta, maybe, just getting full shotgun. But now they're starting to pick up some lockdown for him in the Shadow Shaman, and also just a nice way to push.
Ten seconds remaining.
Lena.
Yeah.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
Would you want it to be mag offlane, or would you want actually, because they could also run an Invoker offlane. They have 2-1-2 potential, although that makes your gank lane business weak.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah. As you said, it's... Yeah, it can be rough. You need something to get rid of the Ion Shell, or you can sometimes get an early kill on the Doxy. He's not the tankiest of heroes, he's pretty good, but he's not the tankiest. And again, if they do what they did last time with the help of that level 1 Sunstrike, they might be able to bring him down if he overextends. But we'll have to see. Lena going to be what LGD? I'm assuming this is a core Lena. It actually could be support. It's a bit... It's not too greedy as a support, but I think it'll be core for maybe.
Doom.
Oh.
LGD's turn.
Yeah, we
to
both
bat.
say oh there as this one pops out. It's actually not as uncommon as we, acted all surprised. And it's a great counter to Morphling. It's actually something I've seen a lot, I feel, as
10
a
seconds
Morphling
remaining.
counter. But he's not as
5
great,
seconds
it feels, in the offlane as he once was, obviously with some Scorched Earth changes.
Reserve
So-
time. Team Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. I think
Reserve
as
time.
well, something that's really nice about Doom right now, obviously, if the supports rotate on LGD, we do see this happen sometimes, right? Morphling, the supports will zone the Doom, Morphling will have a great time following the free in lane as the supports go do their thing. Doom can actually smack it real well with this Infernal
LGD's
Blade.
turn
It's
to
such a great harass tool that if the supports are gone for too long, Doom can potentially come back up there and be a real pain.
Bounty Hunter.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
Oh, Okay, so interesting factoid here. Team Secret ran all this lineup pretty much with Pylai as their last pick on the Bounty Hunter, but LGD have snatched that away. So, kind of, and I mean, I think to me this Bounty Hunter reads a little bit as we really don't want Invoker to have the great start he did last game. We're going to make sure there's someone who can put pressure there, and if he can't, you know, because the sentry comes out in mid lane or Bounty loses the sentry wars there, you go and harass Envy with the Ion Shell Doxia combo.
Yep, the classic super annoying combination. Very strong.
And it's going to just...
So this is the defensive hero, I guess.
This is another hero that obviously Secret feel very comfortable on. You know, we've all seen Pylai play Bane up the wazoo. Either way, folks, let's get to it. Players just have to pick their heroes for us, and we'll be ready to go. Looking at these two lineups, I have to say I think Secrets is a little bit easier to execute, right? You have obviously good team fight potential. Envy is going to need some space to farm, but if you're having trouble, you can group up a few of you, push down towers with Shadow Shaman and the threat of Invoker spells, versus LGD need the Bounty Hunter to do work early. Doxy is going to need to get up quite a few items before team fighting, it does feel. What are your thoughts, Ethan?
Kind of true, I guess, but it's kind of hard for Secret to get stuff done because of the threat of this Bounty Hunter. So like Secret have to really careful of where this Bounty Hunter's movements are and stuff like that.
Prepare for battle.
And if they're always so cautious where he's going around, they suffer on the supports because they have to constantly keep track of where he's going.
Yeah, it's not the easiest of games that way. We've seen it before where if Bounty Hunter doesn't get a lot done, you know, maybe spends too much time looking for a career snipe, actually can't secure any kills, and his harassment doesn't end up hurting the farm on Secret, you're not getting level 6 until like 14 minutes in sometimes, and then your hero is pretty much useless. And fighting 4v5 into Secret with the changes to Doom, I think is a bit of a hard ask.
Yeah, I'm sure that MLY will get stuff done though. This guy is a god. I wouldn't be surprised if he just makes it super difficult for Secret in the laning phase.
Do you personally admire any of these players, right, Eosin? I know you have played in some high-level tournaments yourself. I don't know if you have ever met a lot of these folks, but
I am gonna get flamed so hard for that comment you just made.
What?
I like Dota players in general. I mean, I respect every player a lot. I think every player has a lot to learn. I wouldn't say I have anyone I admire. Just one. I admire all Dota players, so we'll just keep it at that.
Okay, coolio. So Misery is actually going to help out with the block here, as is DDC. So both sides going to start out with some pretty nice blocking. So this mid lane, who do you favor? I think Lina has a lot easier time.
Yeah, Lina is one of the best lane-winning heroes for sure.
And
wins in every aspect, I feel.
I do also feel like Invoker, you know, when he was a bit stronger earlier on in this patch, before he got hit by the nerf hammer over and over, I think he tried lost hit there with the Sunstrike. Is that how desperate this lane is?
It's not that desperate, it's just, you have nothing better to do anyways. You're gonna slowly regenerate your mana and all this kind of stuff, so you might as well just throw it out there, I guess.
This is something I'm not used to seeing. Misery has actually come mid. He'd already managed to get himself the Centaur creep. He's taking a lot of heavy damage, but normally it's the support, especially the Bane, who pops into mid, since you can harass so well with Brain Sap.
Yeah, I mean, the Bane in lane is super annoying. I'm kind of surprised about this Misery play, but when he's not getting anything done, he's just harassing the mid lane, so just helping out Weehaw, since he is kind of struggling against this.
But they should... Oh, Bounty Hunter actually, where is the other sentry? It is on Disruptor, so they will actually end up losing the Ward Wars in mid. But this just means it's time to go work on Misery. As a Bounty Hunter, you have trouble in one lane, you go elsewhere.
And he just keeps walking around. He forces people to not get anything.
Dire's
He'll
bottom
keep himself
tower
down,
is
but
under
at the same
attack.
time he keeps other people down, so the trade-off is fine. He just needs to find space later on. I'm sure his team will give it to him later on. And
Yeah.
he's just sapping EXP from his. He got EXP from that Devour too.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a good old time as the bounty hunter, while ROTK again feeling like it's a little bit safer to jungle to get that level 2. And as you said, MMY making life really rough for Misery, although in the mid lane we're going to have a shackle onto maybe, and the Sunstrike auto attacks will make that our first blood coming out. They all trying to work in onto Misery. The Janata has come out, he's slowed, taking heavy damage, and he goes down as well. So a little too slow on LGD, but still a good return kill.
Yeah, that was a really good kill for LGD. I think it's perfectly fine for LGD giving up first blood because they had to rotate so many support. Like they had to rotate both supports in, and they're just making space for the rest of the team. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and Envy is the one who I think you have a little bit harder time against a Darkseer. You don't, on that Ember Spirit, have a super easy way to burst down the Ion Shell versus the Morphling can just play back a little bit. You know, has tiny amounts of range.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't think they can do it. They can't do anything against Morphling, whereas Envy's Ember is much more vulnerable, I guess. I don't know if they're gonna do anything to it though either. If Secret prioritize Envy's Ember, I don't think there's any way he's gonna die. Supports are always gonna be next, stuff like that. So LGD just have to shut down the other 2 lanes instead.
Yeah, I think, as you said, just try to win 2 out of 3 lanes, and you generally win the game. And certainly when you have Alina in mid, although she did get first blooded there, she is still way ahead of the Invoker on the S. You do expect this, of course, because she has Dragon Slave and so on, and much better damage, but, you know, a death and she's ahead of him by 10 CS?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, Alina's laning is just super annoying to deal with.
Oh, Weehawk gonna get Janata there. He actually goes in for the meatball drop onto maybe walking out of it, and the auto attacks will have it. Fairy fire or no, but maybe probably given her life for this, being burned down, salving away. Auto attack stops it. Can she get a denied? It creeps here, but instead a nightmare comes out and looking like she's gonna be going down. She does manage to go for the Dragon Slave, but the brain zap gets the last hit. So.
Well, I think LGD's goal is just to shut down Weehaw so whatever he did last game doesn't happen again. I'm sure it's going to happen again, but just not as soon. They don't want him to spiral out of control so early. So trading Alina they should be okay with this for now.
Yeah, it does feel, obviously getting the kill on the Invoker, somewhat helpful, but Invoker actually having some kill involvement there himself. He's actually above her in net worth. I'm a little surprised. Oh, okay, we glimpse back on top onto Misery. He's gonna take some damage, but with a TP rotation in, not sure if he wants to stick around. Waveforms out, leaving DDC in a bad spot. MMY's coming in though. Can they get this kill onto Misery? Yes, they can, and now Pylai die. He's gonna have to wander away. And while all of that's happening, Invoker and maybe again exchange hits. Okay, maybe going down. One more auto attack. She does end up burning. Weehawk.
They're the last.
That was a really well placed meteor. The way that kill would have worked. So
He liberal isn't exactly the word I want to say. I guess good is just it, but he has landed a number of fantastic meteors. There aren't a lot of players who throw that out so readily.
yeah, he's definitely a very talented invoker. Sure. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised Misery died top there. I thought he was gonna make it. He's still super tanky. Even though Scorched Earth isn't as good as it was before, it's still really strong. So I'm kind of surprised he died there.
I think a lot
gank.
of it's showing the presence of this bounty hunter, right? You mentioned MMY is a god, but also he's getting a lot of work done. He's constantly in the right place, and there was another example. Misery is trying to escape, trying to make sure that he survives the gank, and surprise, there was a bounty hunter behind it the whole time.
Yeah, he's doing fine right now. I mean, if you look at
Radiant's top tower
Well, actually,
is under
wait.
attack.
supports are getting severely outleveled
On
LGD. They're behind the
yeah.
supports, but at the same time, Doom is the same level as their supports, so
Yeah.
that's the trade-off.
When we take a look at the experience graph, it's pretty even, and a lot of that, as you said, is ROTK massively out-leveling Misery. He's 2 levels ahead of Misery, and also he's the same level as the Ember. Now Misery gonna take some Janata. Again, there is gonna be, a dust coming out. Do they have a way to stop Highlight Die? And TP's coming in. This is looking like a fight that LGD cannot take. Nightmare up on Sylar. He's level 7. I don't know where his replicant is. I don't see it out, and instead he's gonna fall to a meeple. He manages to wave, goes for the TP. Is this gonna be the escape? Deafening Blast stops him from getting out there. Really well played rotation from Secret again.
I think that was definitely a little ambitious of a dive from LGD. I'm kind of, I would say, insane to not expect people to TP when you dive past your tier 1. I think that was a misplay on their part. I'm not sure how far back he's gonna. But
yeah. Also, RTK uses his wall vacuum combo on MD on bottom. Another, you can say, ambitious play, but in that case at least, I'm not sure if in the next minute you're going to find a good opportunity to use wall vacuum. So anything to put pressure on MD's farm might be the right choice here.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like you said, you're not gonna use a wall for anything really at the time. Just he doesn't even have levels for vacuum yet, so it's fine. He's just pressuring Envy right now.
So we will be seeing Doom getting up the Tranquils. He's now getting a little bit more space, gonna try to rock me. But on the other hand, ROT's gotten a lot of farm here, and so he will certainly be getting onto his mech faster than last game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's not much they can do about killing off Darkseer. It's really difficult. You would have to be really out of position and get caught by Rasta for that to happen. But he's almost level 6. It's really good for him. They can start taking objectives with his wards.
Lena gets blown up again in the mid lane. Faster than she can blink. Just another media into cold snap into media. This is not how this lane is meant to go, to say the least.
Yeah, I would say that too. But his meteor is just too good. He doesn't even need to set up. He just seems to hit it all the time. Apparently my mic is having issues again, but I honestly have no idea what's happening. I
think you just have to move it a bit below your mouth. It's also popping a little bit. We did actually do testing before this, guys, and didn't have this issue. And then you were cutting a little, so I asked you to lower your threshold. Maybe just put it back up and occasionally speak louder. But I think really the only thing is you're gonna have to have the mic like below your chin, because I think it's catching when you breathe on it a little. So. Is it?
I mean, yeah. It's been below my. Okay, I'll try to.
Lower. Apparently, that's why I was calling you a mouth breather. You got some breathiness going on there.
I mean, I moved it even further down. I hope it's a little better.
We'll hope so. And yeah, folks, it's early days. We'll try to make sure it's all fixed up by the end of the night. Either way, looking around, Bounty Hunter approaching that level 6. Ember Spirit, though, when we take a look, his farm is great. And honestly, yes, Ember needs a lot of farm to come online, but something that I don't know, so does a Morphling, right? Morphling's gonna go a Lincoln's before he gets a damage item. Ember's probably gonna pick up bots and then maybe work on his Battle Fury here. He does already have an Aquila, so I don't know if he wants to also...
I think getting drums would set him back too far. I think he just goes for the Battle Fury after this, or after his Boots of Travel.
Yeah, I mean... Okay, not to say that the hero is boring or anything, but there's kind of not so many different builds with an Ember, and when you know that he is this hero, he goes usually Battle Fury, depending on how the game's, bots, Battle Fury, depending on how the game's going, it's going to be a good a Blink or the Chrysalis next. He really likes being a Blink Ember Spirit. He's very skilled with heroes, makes a lot of value out of it, but there's a Static Storm right on his head. They're going to glimpse him back into it, also Kinetic Field. Laguna Blade to finish him off. Just as we were talking about how good of a player he is, I don't think there's a way to dodge that type of business, though.
Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do against that. It's gonna I think it's gonna happen eventually. Fortunately, Y's gonna get caught out here.
Yeah,
he's
Beans
done.
grip going out. I mean, there's again, not much you can do there as a support. RTK actually a big. He's just bombing while support in trouble. Actually gonna get tuned up there. Didn't have time to get off. Okay, there's gonna be a Sunstrike. Not sure this is still enough damage with the changes to Doom. So yeah, RTK gonna be fine there. A really nice play. This kinetic field.
He's super tanky. I don't think there's any way they're gonna kill him. So that was really good for LGD.
Look at this wheel.
Radiant structures are fortified.
What are you saying about LGD?
They need to get MOY his level 6 now. It's about time. And then they need to
Radiant's middle tower
start fighting together. I think they're about ready to start fighting together now. Now's a good time. They have all the tools they need. A couple levels of vacuum, a mech, and then they have track. So they're all rotating to the jungle together now.
Highlight Die gonna be taking a bit of damage, but this just sets up for the Sunstrike on the other side of the fight. Misery going to get glimpsed backwards. He is tanky, but not enough for all of these auto attacks. Wards are dropped by Puppy though. If he can hold anyone here like MMY, Laguna Blade comes out on him, but it's not enough, and now Lina goes down instead. MMY is invisible. Static Storm again drops on MD, but there's no follow-up damage, and oh gosh, the baby Doomlings are about. They are stunning people up. Ember Spirit is in there. He does get the steering chains off onto Syla. 4 for 1.
That was really unfortunate for LGD. I think they rushed it a little bit. I feel like they should have waited for Bounty Hunter to get his level 6. He didn't have it that fight. They had to kill one hero before he hit 6, and at that time it's a little too late for the tracks to start coming out.
It also just felt like Secret were very ready for that. They had a kind of power peak, I want to say, right? Shadow Shaman being level 8 means that you have max Ether Shock and Mass Serpent Wards at the ready. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was a sick combo off that sleep. They timed all their nukes together, so that ROTK didn't even have a chance to do it. They Nightmare him and they waited for the Sunstrike, and then right when the Sunstrike hit, snap and fork. Not even called fork lightning it, Ether Shock. So it's almost like, I don't know, 800 damage coming out off one Nightmare.
Yeah, it's as you said, pretty dang good stuff there. So Puppy gonna be getting very rich off the back of that, and you know what happens when a Shadow Shaman gets rich. I'm actually kind of wondering if okay, Puppy didn't see it because it's nighttime. I'm a little bit wondering if Puppy might run for a Midas like they did last game, whether he'll just rush Blink.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It would depend on how they feel their current game is going, I suppose. Like if they're ahead, you just buy Blink, or maybe something else. I don't know how Puppy likes to itemize.
Okay, we have the converging onto Highlight Die, but they missed the stun, maybe uncharacteristically spelled there. Now Puppy coming out, he does have the Mass Serpent Wards at the ready, but the Doom has already been used on DDC. Maybe he needs to hit a good striker. He does manage to get it off. Misery taking damage here. They also love the Disruptive Ori stack stolen now. Ember Spirit walking in. Maybe Life Strike is gonna hit, but maybe he has to walk through those wards, and the last auto attack from Weehaw gonna get it. LGD really having some trouble here.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems with their lineup right now is that there's no stuns. Like there's actually nothing. The only thing they can rely on is vacuum and a glimpse. Like if they don't have glimpse, there's no setup. And it's kind of difficult to rely on vacuum kinetic field right now. It's not high enough level vacuums and that kind of stuff. So Secret just they just split up and then just pick everyone apart. They're not in threat of anyone.
They didn't use the track on Weehaw, but they drop a sentry, glimpse into a Static Storm. He uses the Yules, buying quite a bit of time here. With so many heroes around, can he get a return kill? No, instead, they get the big old bounty, putting it on Molfling.
But yeah, like I was saying, there's no lockdown, so Secret are just kiting him around. Sylar had a lot of trouble trying to hit anyone, and pretty much all in on this Darkseer Disruptor for the time being.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to wait for maybe to get his Yules, but really pick people apart.
And as we saw there, MB's timing on the bots faster than average. He's also the highest GPM this patch coming into this LAN. So we're gonna be okay. MB's just low because he's farming, but it does look like got a Fiend's Grip onto Syla. And everybody looking to back on out. Pylai died with a nice Nightmare there. Can they catch him? Kinetic Field not gonna latch. So LGD forced to back on out.
Ember was a low bottom, by the way, because maybe just tried to solo.
I wasn't sure if he was jungling.
Maybe went for the attempt because he had.
Even if you don't get that kill, one, you forced him back, that's farming time, but two, your Laguna Blade's such a low cooldown. I think on Alina, it's always worth it.
Shot. Yeah. Almost had it.
Almost, but no cigar. Now, LGD is the game here, right? Got tying. You obviously want the 2-0, but tying's not bad either. So, especially against one of the arguably stronger teams in your group. These groups are both stacked, actually. Everybody in this qualifier is fantastic, or in this LAN is fantastic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
but well, we got his, core tools that he needs to.
Oh, speaking of tools, RFTK end up getting a back in wall combo. There wall traps right on his head. Syla coming in to see if he can help out here at all. They're gonna be a glimpse back into a static storm. Still not enough damage. They need to burn someone down. Waveform. This puts Syla in a horrible position. He's zoomed up. Laguna Blade comes out. He's actually morphing strength while doomed. Is that what I'm seeing right there? No, he wasn't. He is just trying to survive. He's gonna get the knife. No! Weehaw manages to get the last hit and on the disruptor, and now maybe Nightmare up. Bounty Hunter's looking for a kill. He almost gets two. If he can catch up Misery here, Shuriken. He does have the one charges. Doesn't end up going for it. So I'm gonna get the fight recap up because I know a lot of those were track kills. Oh goodness, MMY. He has one charges. He can definitely do this. He can go for a Shuriken. Come on, MMY. You have one charges, Shuriken, and then will it be enough? Not quite looking like it. I think he'd need two owns. He just goes for the TP away. Invoker not able to get anything off.
There was actually no way he was gonna get that kill, but it's still funny to see him just try it and then get. I think one of the biggest problems with that team fight was they had to react more quickly. I don't think they should have gone for it because it's so difficult to reach ROTK. It's in such a terrible position. They decided to go because he ball, and then backup showed up too late. Disruptor couldn't kinetic field in time. Luckily, they still picked off EE, but that was definitely in Secret's favor.
Yeah. Mike down again, Eosin. It was good for a bit, and then I think you moved it back up a little. But I also want to point out, Lena, I'm assuming that's going to be an Aether lens on her. We didn't actually really see too much of it in the last game. Obviously, this game is very close. Secret doesn't have, they had a bit of a lead. That team fight, it just did end up going back the way of LGD. That's what happens when you have a bounty hunter. Really nice series gains from these there, stopping all aggression.
Haste.
Yeah, Aether lens is super good on Lena. Even with the nerf, it's still such a good item you have to get because it increases your Yule's range, gives your Laguna cast further, you can stun from further. Just everything about it is too good.
Yeah, I think obviously there have been some changes to the recipe, not giving you magic damage resistance, but I think especially on these heroes like the Zeus, like the Lena, where you cause so much, pretty much all of your damage output is magical until quite late into the game. I think it's just too good, as you said, to pass up.
Yeah, the range and just everything about it is just too good.
So we will be seeing MMY saving up. Obviously, Doxia is going to go the Guardian Greaves eventually this game. I think RTK is saving up for a blink first. They need that initiation, but even if they go in, RTK may just jump into death because they actually have quite a bit of instant lockdown on Secret.
Yeah, I feel like they need. This is gonna be one of those games where they really need sheep sticks and all that kind of stuff. But obviously that's for a much later game. But now that Lena has Yule's, should be okay. Late they're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna see a TP out. Okay, getting very close to that blink. game, this has actually been significantly more impact. Still feel like these two teams being very careful about how they play around each other.
Yeah, neither side wants to give up objectives or anything of the sort. Every time they take team fights, they're usually in where one team can't really get anything out of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing... okay, so you talk about this positioning, actually, we're maybe gonna have MMY walk up into them. They didn't have any idea. They're grouped up. Were they thinking, like, what's going on? The smoke is actually now gonna be real. Nice Striker Ray does hit the vision. They're trying to blow him up, but Doom up an MMY taking heavy casualties. Reno is stuck in the kinetic field. Static Storm, Light Striker Ray will stun him. No spells coming out of that man, but now the Doom on the maybe he has dropped his toolkit. The mech not going to help out enough in Misery. The ROTK he's trying to run. He goes down. Another 4 for 1.
Yeah, and once again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, LGD just don't have lockdown in these team fights. They're so reliant on the vacuum disruptor combo, and if they don't hit more than, I would say more than 2 people, it's gonna be close to impossible for them to win fight. Team Secret just have so much damage coming. Everything really.
I mean, what? You can itemize about it, right? You can eventually get up sheep sticks on people, Yules, get that type of thing, but that's really costly. They're gonna have to try to stay in this game until pretty late, like last game.
And well, the problem with that too is, if it takes them too long, it doesn't even do anything, because the other team can just itemize in preparation for it. You just prepare for it by buying, you know, Lotus Orbs and Lincolns and all that kind of stuff. So even if they end up getting sheep sticks, it might not even do all that much.
That there exists the Lotus Orb, a 4,000 gold item that counters the sheep stick, a 5,000 gold item, albeit the way Lotus Orb works in the meta is you often only manage to get it on your supports, but it can still be rather devastating, as you said. It's something that's totally feasible for a team to have up, and speaking of feasible, MMY staying alive, not so good here. Not the odds aren't great, and he goes down. Oh, and maybe they're gonna catch up, maybe. Puppy, setting up for the Sunstrike, is slightly off the mark because of cooldowns, and maybe will wander away. Replicant made of Misery. Free Blads, yo.
Yeah, LGD, I feel like Secret are strong enough now where they just are taking these ones and then they prepare for Roshan. They're in a really good position right now. They just have to make sure they don't give LGD Roshan.
Now, this did happen last game, though. It felt like Secret was dominant for the first 20-25 minutes. What is going on with Pylai Dai? Just helping them destroy the tower. There will be a Yules. It looks like Secret might not actually... Okay, they are just going to completely sacrifice him, moving away. Not thinking that this is a good setup for an engagement.
I think he was just making sure that LGD weren't trying anything sneaky.
Yeah.
He loses his life is kind of whatever, I feel. They just absolutely can't, like I said, they can't give LGD, that would be their get back into the... As long as they don't give it away, then they're...
It's Pylai Dai, right? It's the guy that you kill, then you go, wow, I think we actually lost gold getting that kill.
Tactical feeding.
Yeah, Pylai Dai is an expert in it, so... Now, Guardian... Okay, as I say that, I was gonna say a RTK close to Guardian Greaves, but instead he's close to death. Sunstrike also coming out. He will be able to get off the wall, but it is not enough, even though he maxed the vacuum there. It was actually a pretty nice vacuum, but Searing Fist coming up Envy. So,
I'm not sure if this is I think they can take tier 1 bottom with this kill. Having ROT out of the game for 4 seconds is really good for them. So they go for the smoke, probably gonna wrap around the tier 1.
Well-gotten gains.
Oh, they're just going straight for Roshan. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a great pick as well. You can drop wards for it, you know, you can still push the tower even without the wards, and they know ROTK dead for the count. They should be able to get this before he respawns. He also has to TP, so... And this just allows MB to play so much more ballsily.
RTK bought back. They want to fight this.
Yeah, but they're gonna be way too late. The Dust Comes out. He actually blinks in, gets the whole vacuum out. Who is gonna get the Aegis? And Boga gets it. They also got the kill. A nice Static Storm is set up. They blow up Misery. Can they get any sort of follow-up? RTK goes down, but you know, it's a dieback on the guy who blended everything, and LGD, that wasn't ideal.
That was definitely not ideal. They really wanted to contest it, but they weren't ready for it at the same time. They tried to kind of rushed it a little bit. And then ROT had to die back for that. Didn't get anything out of it. They just get a do. Looking grim for LGD right now.
So we said this last game. I just really want to focus on this because I do feel like we said last game it's grim for LGD. I think there are some differences because they have a Morphling and not a... I'm sorry, way to say this. Morphling is going the shotgun build, which can be helpful in team fights, right? There are certainly people he can try to blow up and change around a team fight, but I don't think Secret is going to make the mistake of letting Sylar get solo pickoffs here because they know it's the shotgun Morphling.
Yeah, they'll definitely try their best to avoid dying that. I don't think. I mean, they have no reason
bottom
to
tower is under attack.
that to happen. They're so far ahead. They just farm whatever they have control of and just avoid running at all.
Yeah. Also, ways of catching out Sylar are starting to come out, even though he has a Lincoln's. Pylai Die has that Aether Lens up, also gonna start working on a Glimmer Cape. Speaking of catching people out, they just blow up maybe. Weehaw, again, big Invoker, already has the Blink and the Ags. You might have to ban the Invoker.
He always gets huge. You can
Probably should have that
slow
looked
this
at
down.
by a doctor.
Dire's middle tower
Only-
is under attack.
To slow him down for so long. They didn't even slow him down at all. They killed him once and then he just killed maybe 3 times in the something like. Now he's just doing what he did last game again. I'm kind of surprised they didn't ban Invoker this game. I feel like Weeha's Invoker gave him the most trouble last game.
Oh my goodness, this Shadow Shaman also already has an Atos. Okay, Sylar, is he just gonna walk into all of them immediately waveforming away?
Dire's bottom
So
tower
they do also end up getting the bottom tower. How does Puppy already have an Atos? I mean, I know they're almost 10,000 net worth ahead, but that is ridiculous.
He has a lot of farm. I mean, I feel like Puppy always had a lot of farm in all of his games.
Now,
I think
something...
one of the biggest differences this game though is that last game LGD were kind of behind, right?
Yeah.
But they had a far superior fight lineup. Game not nearly as strong, so they're like in some serious trouble. If this game continues like this, they're just gonna lose in 10 minutes, I feel.
Something else I want to point out that's really nice about the Atos, we often don't have an opportunity to talk about this, but the way that Cripple works, it actually has enemy accuracy 40% thing, which you know that the Morphling's going to build a butterfly. If you know the Morphling's going to build a butterfly, but you maybe don't want Ember to be feeling forced into an MKB so early, Atos is kind of like a nice in-between with that 40% enemy accuracy.
Well, the thing about it, Atos is like,
Fortune's changed.
it's not like an item you always, so good, it's core, blah, blah, blah. It's really good here because they want a way to easily break Morphling's Lincolns, and having Atos is like one of the best ways because it's such a long cast range.
Yeah.
And it gives him all the stats he wants.
Dire's bottom tower
350
is under
health.
attack.
Because Shadow Shaman doesn't have that many options for having health and stuff like that. Because normally people just get Scepter if they want health. So having Atos is an alternative for having health, and then it also brings in Lincolns. So.
Oh, Ember Spirit, he actually tries to stop any potential blink out there, and it will mean a free tower coming out for Weehaw. So, oh, okay, just making sure he's not tracked up. I mean, I agree with you. I don't feel like LGD has as great a team fight here, although there is some, if they can land the vacuum into Static Storm, into Light Strike Array, but I think it's really rough against a team as experienced as Secret. Where do you find a spot to choke point them into that?
It's you just have to really hope that they mess up. It's really difficult. If Team Secret realize that that's their only game losing, that's the only way they lose the game is if they all fall for that combo. So I don't think they're gonna let that happen. They just split up, don't get caught by that, and eventually.
Oh, Syla gonna get caught out by Puppey, taking heavy damage. Fiend's grip as well. Looks like he's falling. No chance to get away there. And now Puppey, they expect wards for that, but could this be what they need to go high ground?
I have what it takes to go high ground.
Oh, Puppey gonna get damaged a little bit. He immediately follows up with the dust, and they get a kill on him. But MMY getting caught along with maybe. They will get out of the Sunstrike. MMY is still visible with that dust, the Surge away, and the Guardian Greaves to bring him to safety. Doxia does have vacuum wall here, so this push has to be a little bit careful. Slide of the steering chains almost brings him low. Misery coming in, dooms up RGK. No worries now about the wall vacuum for the doom duration. This is some really nice play coming out of Secret.
Well, they just decide to back off. It's a buyback. They don't have to do anything really. They just go back and farm and wait.
Yeah, the guess on the Sunstrike will be wrong, but NB has up his Daedalus. Not sure how much it matters. And you need to move your mic below your mouth again, Eosin.
I haven't moved it anywhere.
I know, it's just, yeah, it's unfortunate. We've broken your mic from these great games. Great. So, Weehaw's just poking around invisible. Obviously, other teams can learn from this. You know, the teams have, I think, a short break in between. I'm pretty sure that the next team that's playing Secret is probably going to watch this match. Oh, they're going in onto maybe. There's going to be a vacuum, but Weehaw shows that BKB. She actually ends up using her Yules to dodge a lot of it. And that should be the end of that. Syla thinking about coming in. Oh, they have a glimpse back onto Misery. Light Striker rate hits as well. Will we see the shotgun? There it is. Also amping up that Laguna Blade because she does not have Aghanim Scepter yet. Gonna get himself out of the EMP. Can they catch anybody else? Weehaw's BKB is on cooldown here. He does, of course, have the blink at the ready, and it's looking like that should be the end of the engagement.
That was a big glimpse pick off. They really needed that.
Oh, will they end up actually catching up? He's going to glimpse back with the need to make sure he takes damage before he comes out of his fuel. A Static Storm off the mark, but they'll get Puppey. And they might be able to siege a tower here, although they don't have creeps.
I don't think there's much for objectives here for LGD. I think the creep wave is all the way in front of their base right now. So what they can do is just go back and chop their lane. I don't think there's much they can do at the moment. I'm kind of surprised they managed to win that fight though, even though RTK misses vacuum completely. Still managed to win that team fight.
Also kind of interesting to note is that, okay, Rams by Weehaw, they are falling further and further behind on Secret. I think a lot of, as you mentioned, what kept LGD in the game last time was that they were able to bring the game back in their favor. They were able to keep the gold loss steady. There's not really any hope of it this game. Everybody's farming well. Envy is doing ridiculously well at 550 GPM.
Yeah, well, the last game they were able to keep it together because of just strong. They were never in a position where they would lose a team fight, and Secret realized that, so they never fought them. This game is a little different. They're not as strong as a five-man team fight, and if they take a fight and they lose the team fight, it's probably just over because I don't think Sylar has buyback. Forced a buyback on him earlier. He's still really underfarmed compared to Envy. Oh, I mean, it's gonna take. I feel like it's gonna take a miracle team fight from LG. Like they absolutely have to hit more than 2 people at vacuum combo.
Also, with the BKBs coming out, it gets more difficult to pull off these big plays, obviously. Do you think it's also time for some of these supports on LGD? Obviously, Disruptor's going for the Aghanim Scepter. Super powerful on him to make the Static Storm great. Does Bounty need to invest in a Lotus Orb for Syla?
I think Sylar should be okay for now. I don't think they need a Lotus Orb for him because no one's gonna have Sheepstick and stuff like that. I feel like if Sylar doesn't mess up, which probably he won't, he's perfectly fine on his own with his BKB and Lincolns.
And up next, okay, we do have a lot of gold on some people around the map. Are you already at the stage for LGD that you're worried about saving buyback?
Regeneration.
Yeah, LGD need to save Probably needs to start saving for buyback.
Oh no, they have caught out the bounty hunter who is a freshly picked up gem. He is going to be blown up. They bought that pretty recently, and of course it sets up nicely for Roshan as well.
Very unfortunate for them, especially dying right next to the Roshan pit when Roshan is up.
It gives away a lot of control.
Yeah.
Roshan has fallen into the ring.
Immortality.
And you definitely have to start saving for buyback, because now is probably one of the best times to just start going toward the high ground push.
I feel like it's Secret again are in a spot where they have the world is their oyster. We said this last game, but here as well, their high ground defense is so great when you have a Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit. He can play extremely aggressively in this next team fight with Aegis and him up. You said it would take a miracle team fight for LG, but I think we're very firmly at the point in this game where it is Secret's game to lose.
Pretty much. I feel like it's actually been like that for even 10 minutes ago. Because like I said, once again, they just lack the team fight lockdowns. It's just far too reliant on the vacuum.
And again, maybe he's feeling forced into that BKB instead of being able to pick up, you know, some other lockdown. I don't think it's a wrong decision against an Invoker, but of course you still have to deal with all of Ember Spirit's damage to protect kill. So good luck with that.
Yeah. He's just dying far too quickly. There's just way too many disables. He has to get BKB. As he picks up the BKB, he might not do enough damage to carry the game right now.
Okay, they're trying to find something on these supports in middle. They don't realize how close EE is. And Puppy also having a Blink Dagger means that catching anyone is difficult. There's going to be TPs coming in. Weehall has a Blink. They need to get all the way out of here. But Puppy's starting out with the Atos right under a sentry there for MMY. Doesn't even matter. Gets blown up. That took Invoker, what? 3 hits?
For all the good use.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
ROTK takes a big hit of damage as well from MB. Looks like he got a crit over on him.
He has Guardian Greaves though, so he was able to run away.
But he's used them now. It means that they're not going to have them potentially for this support of this high ground push. Limits how aggressive their play can be. Although ROTK's only job here, as you said, he has to get a big wall vacuum. But with wards, you don't necessarily need your heroes on the high ground. Ward placed inside. Fiend's Grip onto ROTK. Sunstrike going to come out as well. The Glimmer Cape doesn't save you from that pure damage. And with the Doom, he is brought down. He does have buyback. This would be very costly though, and he will end up using it. NB is standing inside of their base. Syla, not much he can do here. Does have the shotgun up and a BKB, but going into fight, there's so much physical damage here as well. Tornado going to be off the mark. Puppy jumps in actually, again, going on ROTK. They just want to lock this guy down so he can't get up a wall vacuum. Now a big EMP. Static Storm is really nice, but they have BKBs to go through it. ROTK, Guardian Greaves up, is going to have, oh, suddenly Envy right on top of him, and that's a dieback. Looking like this game is all but over. Envy burning 1 life. Lincoln is popped on Syla. Can he get any sort of fight on Envy? I just imagine he'll remnant away. And as he does that, they've gotten a free Rax.
Well, they held the melee still, but that was a very costly hold. Having a buyback on Darkseer, having him die back, is definitely not what you need.
Yeah, they are 20,000 net worth behind now. Obviously losing a Rax, and as you said, the diebacks being very costly. And yes, Envy lost his life, and when you could argue a bit deep, but he has the MKB. Wolfling no longer really wants to go for that butterfly.
I think he might have to. It's tough to say what he has to buy next. Actually, he needs so much.
Yeah, you need a Scotty. You need, you know, you're feeling like maybe you need a Satanic or something ridiculous, but you're a Morphling. You need damage. Laguna Blade does come out on Envy. I don't think they have the control. We talked about this in Syla, not able to get in range for the shotgun, and now they are caught out of position. There's going to be a Fiend's Grip out on Syla. He is forced right into Weehaw, taking more damage. Is there a Doom with his name on it? It's on cooldown to Syla with the BKB, but Weehaw again picking around. Sunstrike coming out. That's pure damage. He is pushed forward. Syla taking more damage. The auto attacks will have it. He does have buyback, but they lose the Disruptor, who doesn't. And maybe that mid-Rax is ripe for the taking.
That was some really deep diving done by LGD. They're kind of desperate though. I feel like they kind of had to go for it. Otherwise, they're just waiting to lose. We have refreshing
Dire's
for
middle barracks.
Sunstrike is kind of funny. I
Yeah,
don't know
it
if you hit double Sunstrike.
I think it's the right move there because obviously killing the Morphling, forcing this buyback really retards its item progression, and now we're going to be seeing Sylar caught out again. Lincoln's being caught. He is going down, and I imagine the GG calls will follow shortly after. We'll see another Sunstrike, and there it is, the GG call. Eternal Envy's Ember Spirit too strong.
What do you even ban now? And then you ban Emperor, you ban an Invoker. I feel like it's such a difficult choice for LGD.
Yeah.
Or for team to make, sorry. Over.
Totally agreed. It was, I mean, other teams going forwards will have to decide what they're comfortable playing against, but clearly we are very comfortable in this Invoker. You want to ban out Puppy's Chen, but you have to deal with an Invoker, an Ember Spirit potential pickup. It's rough going forwards. So, but